Party Secretary General and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith welcomed the high-ranking delegation from the Communist Party of Cuba on April 29, when the president was stated that Laos will continue to cooperate with Cuba to further strengthen cooperation between the two countries. Party Secretary General and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith made the affirmation during a visit to Laos by a member of the Political Bureau and Secretary of Organization of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba, Roberto Morales, and his delegation from April 28 to 30th. Welcomed the high-ranking delegation from the Communist Party of Cuba on April 29, President Thongloun expressed his appreciation of their visit, saying it was an important contribution to enhancing the friendship and unity between the two parties, states, and peoples of Laos and Cuba. The president informed the delegation about Laos' development achievements and plans for further development next year. He expressed appreciation for the cooperation between Laos and Cuba and thanked the delegation for Cuba's support and assistance. President Thongloun said he greatly appreciated the leadership role of the Communist Party of Cuba and expressed admiration for Cuba's achievements in the mission of national protection and development. In addition, he voiced his respect for the way in which Cuban leaders had preserved the results of the revolution over the past 60 years. On the Cuban side, Mr. Morales expressed his deep satisfaction at the excellent state of the relationship between Laos and Cuba. He also met with standing member of the Party Central Committee Secretariat and Vice President of Laos, Dr. Buntong Chitmani. The two leaders updated each other on the emerging situation in their respective countries and the work being carried out by each party and shared views on regional and international issues of mutual interest. The two sides signed 3 agreements, namely an agreement on exchange and cooperation between the two parties over the next 5 years, a memorandum of understanding between the National Academy for Politics and Public Administration in Laos and the Party School of Cuba, and an agreement on cooperation between Lao Youth Union and the Youth Organization of the Communist Party of Cuba. The Lao and Cuban leaders also took part in a theoretical and practical seminar to share lessons learned. The Cuban delegation met Party Politburo member and President of the Lao National Assembly, Saisampon Phongvihan, together with the Vice President of the National Assembly and President of the Laos-Cuba Friendship Association, Jalun Yeapao, and Party Politburo member and Prime Minister Sonsai Siphandorn. Lao leaders praised the visit of the delegation from Cuba, which they say contributed to enhancement and expansion of the friendship and brotherly relations between the two parties, governments, and peoples of Laos and Cuba. Lao leaders also briefed the guests about socioeconomic development in the country in recent years and future development directions. They highly valued the traditions of cooperation between the two parties, governments, and peoples, and thanked the Communist Party of Cuba, the government and people of Cuba for the support and assistance to the Lao PDR in the process of fighting for national liberation, national defense, and development. Lao leaders representing the party, government, and people reconfirmed the consistent policy of the party and state policy of the Lao PDR in continuing the enhancement of the traditional ties with the brotherly Communist Party of Cuba and the government and people of Cuba. Prime Minister Sonsai Siphandorn praised the achievements of Cuba in the mission of national defense and development, especially achievements in socio-economic development and protection of the outcome of the Cuban Revolution over the more than past decades.